Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is the captain speaking.
The Airbus A220 is the newest jewel in the Airbus crown. But did you know the Airbus A220 isn't actually an Airbus at all? No, this sporty little speedster was born into a different iconic aviation family before Airbus swooped in and plucked her out of her nest. As a matter of fact, what if I told you Airbus bought the entire A220 program for literally just $1, right under the nose of its North American rival Boeing, while at the same time charting a course to dominate future regional markets for years to come, and in so doing, causing Boeing some sleepless nights over the one that got away. The story of the A220 is next on Maximus. Real quick before we start, if you enjoy the content here in the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And of course, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you can be notified every time we release new content. Thanks for watching. The Airbus A220 was originally named the CSeries, manufactured by the Canadian plane maker Bombardier. The CSeries was introduced by Bombardier in 2008 at the Farnborough International Air Show in England. Bombardier saw a market for aircraft in the 100 to 150 seat variant that the Big Two failed to recognize while they concentrated on the so-called next generation market. Bombardier was hoping to shake up the market occupied by the likes of the Boeing 737NG, as well as the Embraer 190 and the Airbus A320 family of planes. Bombardier recognized an opening in the marketplace and decided to throw the dice and fill that opening with a brand new aircraft type. At the time, Bombardier was known for its long-range business Challenger aircraft line, as well as their popular regional jet, the CRJ series. So the 100 to 150 seat market was uncharted territory for Bombardier. The C-Series would be an international effort with design and wing construction taking place in the United Kingdom, with the cockpit and fuselage sections being manufactured in St. Laurent, Canada, with final assembly taking place at Bombardier's home base in Mirabel, Canada. Funding for the $2.1 billion development of the C-Series came from Canada, the United Kingdom, and the government of Quebec. The C-Series is powered by the Pratt & Whitney geared turbofan GTF 1500 engine, touting higher efficiency and lower noise volume. Bombardier promised the C-Series would be passenger-friendly with big windows and generous amounts of storage space. Some airlines would even opt for a unique feature on the aircraft, a lavatory window. The aircraft would feature a state-of-the-art fly-by-wire side-stick cockpit. The plane is available in two variants. The smaller, the Dash 100, which can seat up to 150 passengers, while the larger variant, the Dash 300, would carry up to 135 passengers. Both would have ranges of upwards of 3,000 nautical miles, theoretically enabling them to fly non-stop between the US and Europe. Other narrow-body manufacturers of the time offered a usually cramped 6-abreast seating option. However, Embraer opted for the unusual 3-2 5-abreast configuration, allowing for a standard 18-inch seat width, as opposed to the 17-inch offered on many of the competitors' 6-across variant. Also in a move that Boeing should have opted for when redesigning the 737, the C-Series would be a brand new, clean-sheet aircraft type. The first flight of the C-Series took place in 2013 in Mirabel, Canada. The plane was scheduled to enter service in early 2014. However, entry of the CS-100 will be delayed by a year due to test flight certification difficulties. It was during this time that while on a test flight, one of the 4 test planes experienced a sudden loss of power caused by an uncontained turbine rotor failure, resulting in what amounted to total engine destruction. Later in 2015, Bombardier said it had solved its engine anomaly. However, between 2016 and 2019, 3 Swiss Air A220s and a 4th Air Baltic jet, while carrying passengers, all experienced the same explosive engine failures as on the pre-certification test flight. Analysis has indicated that low-pressure compressor vane schedules were generating a condition within the engine that led to acoustic resonance and damaged the Stage 1 rotor, leading to its failure, the FAA determined. A software change seems to have finally solved a potentially deadly issue. In 2015, Canada's aviation regulator, Transport Canada, issued the aircraft's type certification. In June of 2016, the FAA and the European Aviation Safety Agency granted certification for the CSeries CS100. Swiss International Airlines, a member of the Lufthansa Group, would be the launch operator for the CS100. Soon after, Delta Airlines placed an order for 125 of the smaller 100 variant of the aircraft, giving the aircraft its first American order and its largest customer. For Bombardier, having an American airline as a customer would go a long way in ensuring the aircraft's success. The order by Delta, however, wasn't well viewed by Boeing, who had wanted the airline to buy more 737s. The order came at a time when Delta and Boeing had reached a turning point in their relationship, as Delta navigated towards Airbus products at the time, snubbing Boeing with orders for the A321, the A350-900 XWB, and the A330-900 Neo. At the same time, in 2016, the war drums between Boeing and Bombardier were growing louder. Boeing grew more threatened by Bombardier, so much so that Boeing gave United Airlines a 70% discount on a Boeing 737 order to secure it over Bombardier's CSeries. With Delta getting ready to take delivery of its first CSeries, Boeing made its first move on Bombardier, filing a trade dispute with the U.S. Department of Commerce and International Trade Commission in 2017. Boeing claimed Bombardier was undercutting them on the price of their new CSeries in the U.S. because Bombardier was being subsidized by the Quebec government's sizable investment in the company. This resulted in the United States government initially slapping a 300% tariff on Bombardier, which would have seriously inflated Delta's purchase price, while also screwing up Bombardier's plan to gain a major foothold in the U.S. market with such a sizable purchase by Delta. However, while awaiting a final decision by the U.S. courts, Airbus swooped in with a plan to save Bombardier.
The tables turned very quickly last night, Melanie. Indeed, good morning, with Airbus announcing this deal with Bombardier that will see the European aerospace giant take a majority stake in the CSeries project.
Airbus took a majority stake in the program and promised to move production of the aircraft to its production plant in Mobile, Alabama, smartly avoiding any potential tariffs. Airbus purchased a 50.1% no-cash majority stake in Bombardier, leaving the plane maker with 34% and the Quebec government with 16%. The total cash purchase price, however, was a whopping single $1 Canadian. A great big middle finger to Boeing. Airbus pulled off one of the most amazing and obvious acquisitions in aviation history. The move allowed Bombardier to keep its American customer Delta, as well as allowing Airbus to gain a new aircraft for its product line, and more importantly, a manufacturing foothold in Middle America right in Boeing's backyard. And just like that, the Airbus A220 was born. Ultimately, the U.S. government ruled in favor of Bombardier and removed the tariffs which would have allowed the deal with Delta to go through unscathed. But Airbus had already conquered Boeing, beating them at their own game, plus Airbus got an entirely new aircraft in its stable without spending a dime on development, production, or marketing. A win-win. By February 2020, Airbus purchased Bombardier's remaining stake, giving Airbus a now 75% stake, with the Quebec government holding the remaining 25%. Wow. So how was that for a plot twist? I guess you could say Boeing really couldn't see the forest for the trees in this situation. If this had happened to Boeing 20 years earlier, this would have been a no-brainer. They would have snatched up Bombardier right away. However, Boeing's relationship with the US government got so cozy over the years, they figured they could just muscle Bombardier out of their playground. Boeing was so blinded by revenge, so much so that they never even saw Airbus coming, much like with the A320neo that led to the MAX disasters. However, with that said, there is some good news in here for Boeing. All new aircraft launches have their problems, as was the case with the A220 and their exploding engines. While it wasn't widely reported at the time, these engine problems could have easily sunk the CSeries program in much the same way as the Boeing MAX. So there is hope for Boeing in that the MAX may be able to recover from their disastrous recent history as well. Well, that's it for me. Now it's your turn. Let me know down below what you think. Remember to subscribe, like, and share, ring the bell. And until next time, remember, leave the rubber on the runway and your troubles on the ground. And I will see you in the air. Yeah, this is Maximus.